Good afternoon. Not used to the darkness. I'm going to call the meeting to order. And I will make a motion to approve the minutes from the previous meeting.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Board member comments. Mr. Sultan.
For once, I can keep my mouth shut. None.
Thank you. Mr. Kelly. Mr. Campbell.
Yes, yeah. I got to attend this ICPRB, and I can't remember the other acronym. There's a lot of acronyms. DWISP, the DWISP. And it was quite informative. It was great to see people from all these different agencies. I think ICPRB has West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Maryland, the district, Virginia. Did I miss anybody? And so it's just cool seeing so many people. We had numerous presentations on various things. Had a talk from a professor out in Iowa, was it? Something like that. But yeah, a lot of informative things all over the place. There wasn't just one particular thing, but really enjoyed that. Also really enjoyed the tour of this tunnel that we're constructing underneath the Goose Creek. That was a cool experience to go down 70 feet and walk through this thing, 11 feet wide, something like 13, 14 feet tall. So really enjoyed that as well. Thanks.
I had one comment, Mr. Chairman.
Sure.
I just want to congratulate staff on the opening of Reservoir Park. It was great to be at the opening. Very well done, Mr. Chair. Great remarks from you as well. So glad to see that's finally open, and check both websites, our own and Nova Parks, and it looks great. So glad to see that that's open. Congratulations, everybody. A lot of hard work to get that done. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly. Mr. Yudd.
Thank you, Mr. Allen. Just greetings to everybody, and thank you to staff for all the hard work that they do. I also attended the tour of the Milestone Reservoir and the pump station construction site. Hats off to the Loudon Water staff for that great presentation, discussion, experience. Also, I thought the Clark team was amazing in their depth of knowledge, literally down there. We also had a very good finance committee meeting, and I think Chair Kelly will report out on that. One of the topics was the overview of the operating budget. I had a chance to spend some time with Sally and Brian to answer some more of my questions. I just want to say thank you for that, and also encourage others, if they have questions, to avail themselves of that same type opportunity for a deeper dive. And then, as Sean mentioned, the opening of the Reservoir Park was just amazing, something that I think we all are very proud of. And again, a lot of appreciation for the hard work over many, many years that the staff put into that. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Yudd. Well said. Mr. Buffington.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I too was able to attend the opening of Reservoir Park. I know you all had a lot to do with that, so thank you for all the hard work you put into that over many, many years, and to the board as well for supporting all of that. So other than that, I am just thankful for the little bit of rain we're getting right now. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Buffington. Mr. Vega.
No comments this afternoon.
Mr. Moody.
Yes, I would just like to echo everyone's comments about the Reservoir Park and what was put on. That was a top-notch, first class. I really enjoyed that, and just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Moody. Do we have anyone online? Is Mr. Bonfils online?
I did send the links, but he is not yet online, so I texted him.
Okay. All right. If he shows up, go ahead, Mr. Sultan.
I was at Reservoir Park, not at the dedication, but well afterwards. My wife and I walked around there and had a long discussion with the Park Authority personnel. It's really an excellent situation. Just wanted to add that.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll echo everyone's comments. The opening of the Reservoir Park was a beautiful day. The property showed extremely well. It was well attended. And it was just really good to close the loop and have that completed. And I know it was a long road, and I know staff worked hard, and I know the board worked hard on that. So it's good to see that finally opening. It's a great public asset that everyone's going to enjoy for years and years to come. So, and the partnership with Nova Parks is a great partnership. So that was that was fulfilling to see that. And then the tour that we just had, I was a little bit apprehensive being put in a bucket or a metal bucket and lowered into the ground with a crane. But having other people there with you, it's amazing how you can. I don't think I could have done it by myself. I wasn't that afraid, but it was having a group of people makes it much more tolerable. And I thought of you, Marty, having you there.
That's exactly why I didn't go.
But it was neat.
Coward.
The worst part was the training. They give you a canister that in case there's some problems breathing, you have to breathe into this thing, and they give you a little metal chip that you have to bring down there in case they can't find your body, I guess, and they find the piece of metal. So all that's the prelude to you getting in this basket and being lowered into the ground. So, but it was definitely worthwhile, and it was great seeing staff there. So I appreciate that tour, and hopefully when we get down another 200 feet, we can go do it again. So looking forward to it. But so thank you. And then one other, before I close up my comments, we are going to hold, out of the interest of some confusion from the general public about not making tonight's meeting or not seeing the post appropriately. We're going to schedule another meeting for Wednesday, another public hearing. So we're going to adjourn the meeting that we're going to have later on and then continue that for another meeting, which is Wednesday, December 4th at 6 p.m. So we'll make a motion at the end of the public hearing to clarify that, but I wanted to get that in the record in my comments in this meeting as well. So, and happy Thanksgiving if we don't see staff before then. The Carnes.
Thank you. Good afternoon. A few items for you all today. On Tuesday, Loudoun Water hosted 28 students as part of Loudoun County Public Schools Job for a Day program. The experience allows students to learn and observe the tasks and responsibilities necessary in a particular career cluster, field, or job. And so big thanks to our engineering, compliance, and facilities departments for allowing the students to shadow and learn from them during their workday. As Mr. Campbell mentioned, we hosted the Drinking Water Source Protection Partnership annual meeting last week on November 6th. This group is comprised of utilities and jurisdictions around the Metro DC area working on water quality issues pertaining to the Potomac River. We had about 60 participants learning and discussing pressing water quality topics, and the meeting concluded with a visit to Reservoir Park. And we wanted to thank you for your presence and support at the grand opening event for Reservoir Park. It was a great day for celebration, and the feedback we've been receiving from the Nova Park staff coming from visitors has been overwhelmingly positive. Just a reminder for the holiday schedule that we will be closed at noon on Wednesday, November 27th through Friday, November 29th for the Thanksgiving holiday. ERCs through October totaled 3,988. And a reminder on a few upcoming meetings for you. Next Wednesday, November 20th, is your joint finance and CIP committee. The Water Resources Committee is scheduled to meet Tuesday, December 3rd at 8 a.m. And as Mr. Allen just mentioned, the continuation of the public hearing will be on Wednesday, December 4th at 6 p.m. And that's it for me.
Thank you, Brian. Jewel, do we have anyone signed up to speak?
Not for the board meeting, sir.
Okay, thank you. There is no, excuse me, will someone make a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
Seconded. All those in favor? Board Committee, CIP, Mr. Sultan.
Yes, I'll try to make this as fast as possible. The first item was approval of task order for wastewater collection master plan update. It was last completed in 2016. It's time to update and revise the master plan, the wastewater system master plan. This task order will provide engineering services to accomplish that goal. Staff selected Corolla Engineers to perform the work for an estimated cost of $141,900 with an approximate 5% contingency for a total authorized budget of $149,000. CIP committee forwarded this item to be included in the board's consent agenda. The next thing was award of a contract for pre-procurement of the Broad Run Water Reclamation Facility thermal dryer and special engineering services. This includes a new rotary drum dryer system which will result in a Class A biosolids product. Since the new dryer system is very complex with several critical interfaces to ancillary building systems, Loudon Water staff determined that a vendor pre-selection was necessary. I don't know how to pronounce this. Andritz is an industry leader in thermal sludge drying of municipal biosolids. Committee recommended approval, award of a contract for design to Andritz for $1,391,346. In addition, recommended the board approval of award of a contract for the Broad Run Phase 3 Package 2 rotary drum dryer system goods and special services to Andritz for $26,728,860, which will be assigned to a general contractor. I just wanted to add that the presentation that we saw was very good. The pictures we saw was very, very informative. I had no idea what that system was like. The committee forwarded this item to the November 14th, 2024 board meeting. It will be included on the board consent agenda. The next item was capital construction quarterly report, which no outstanding issues. The last thing was capital spending summary report. Mr. Lipinski provided the September capital spending summary report, which indicated that spending through September 2024 is just under projections by approximately 4%. This can be attributed to a number of things, including a lag between work performed and invoices paid, projects ramping up more slowly, and delays in equipment due to supply chain challenges. And that is it.
Thank you, Mr. Sultan. Mr. Kelly, you're up, Finance Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As Mr. Yudd said, we had a pretty full agenda at our meeting on October 30th. Members of the committee were all present and accounted for. We had several items. All of the items will be on the consent agenda at today's meeting of the board. So we all agreed that they should be moved forward to the board for consent approval. The first item was an appointment of a citizen member to the local finance board that has to do with other post-employment benefits that Loudon, I'll try to explain this as simply as I can. Loudon Water is a member of a trust, and Brian, jump in if I'm saying this incorrectly. And this has to do with retiree health insurance premium contribution plans, covers retirees. The trust has to do is established for the other, what they call the other post-employment benefits. As a member of a pooled trust, which we are, we're a member of a pooled trust, it requires having a local finance board, of which there are 3 members. Our general manager is one, our finance director is the other, and then we have an outside citizen who's a 3rd member. Currently, Joseph D. Mason is the citizen member. His term expires at the end of the month. He is an employee of Davenport, if I remember correctly, and we agreed that he should continue to serve the next 2-year term as the citizen member. Mr. Yudd made a great suggestion that the next time around that we suggested an enhancement to the process that we advertise this position so others have an opportunity to serve on the local finance board. Need to add anything, Brian?
Got it.
So, okay, so the committee agreed to move that forward to today's board meeting. Second item was the write-off of uncollectible accounts. We do this every year. We had about 120 utility and general billing accounts that have outstanding balances greater than $100. Committee agreed that it was appropriate to write off approximately $94,094, and this represents 0.08%, approximately $19 million total operating charges for 2023. As I said, we can be agreed to that and agreed to move that to the consent agenda for today's meeting. Then the third item is a resolution for a standby bond purchase agreement. These agreements basically are in place to cover the situation where a bondholder may want to cash their bonds in early, basically is the best way to say it. We have a current agreement that expires in January 2nd, 2025 with Bank of America. The staff considered or discussed with Davenport the possibility of maybe either extending that with staying with Bank of America or possibly moving it to maybe another bank like Wells Fargo. The challenge with that is we'd have to redeem, replace all the bonds. It's a logistical nightmare to try to do that. So today's price for that facility, it's a backup facility basically, is let me see if I've got the rate here is let's see, 37 basis points, and the extension for another 5 years would be at 40 basis points. So the recommendation was made to the committee that we stay with Bank of America for this backup facility. Committee agreed and forwarded to the board on a consent agenda. And the last item we discussed, as Mr. Yett had mentioned, the operating budget by Sally. I won't go into detail on that because that'll be presented to the board in December. And we agreed that we were satisfied with the operating budget for 2025 and agreed that that should be moved to the board in December. It basically projects 133 million in revenue, and non-operating revenues are projected about 47 million. Total operating expenses for 2025 are estimated at 93.2 million. And that's about a $5 million increase from the 2024 adopted budget. And then we just had informational items for the rest of the committee, the monthly financial summary and so forth. And that's it. As I said, that was quite a lot to cover.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly. Very, very comprehensive recounting. The next item is the consent agenda. There's a lot of things on there. If anyone has any questions, we could entertain that. If not, I will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So move.
Second, all those in favor? Action items, there aren't any. There's no new business. No information items. We are on to monthly reports. The financial summary by Sally.
State forecast of 92.1 million in operating revenues. Again, if you flip to the second page, expenses are all trending under budget. ERCs Brian talked about, we are strong for the year, and capital spending as of September, we're at 96% of the revised projection.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions? All right. Thank you, Sally. Water resource monthly report. We're all green.
Yes, but today helps.
So we, what do we do with the community systems? Refresh my memory. I think the signs were
The
down.
signs
Now
are
that-
still, we've
back up.
actually been treating this whole time like we've been in the drought monitoring stages anyway. So none of the signs have moved. They're all still have
A couple
signs.
have fallen over though, I have noticed. So,
Maybe.
okay, does anyone else have any questions? All right, thank you. Water and sewer agreements by Mr. Tran. This is Jack's report.
Good evening. I just wanted to bring to the board's attention two line items. On the second page, we did have a developer agreement that had reimbursement. We had asked a developer to extend the 16-inch water line, so that included some reimbursement for $120,000. And then the other item I'd like to point out to the board is that we did have an amendment to an existing developer agreement, and that was some additional scope that was added to this developer's work out there at Route 7 and Belmont Ridge Road. That's part of our Russell Branch pump station. So we asked them to build some conduit for us that we moved from our Russell Branch Pump Station capital project over to them to install while they're out there on site. So.
Thank you. On to, does anyone have any questions for Mr. Tran? All right, on to quarterly reports. The BOA quarterly report by Mr. Lipinski. Does anyone have any questions for Tom? Capital construction. Mr. Zafel. Does anyone want to see a brief presentation? I think we have one, right? Is Rick here? We're just going too fast, so.
How can you bring up the presentation? Thank you.
big multifamily, what was that? Can you elaborate on that a little bit in the report?
Excuse me, Sarah?
I noticed though, that's the largest multifamily ERCs we've had, is just a bunch of projects came online. Anything specific there?
I'll have to check and see which multifamily project that is, but we are seeing a lot of the ERCs we're seeing are from multifamily projects. A lot of the development industry, instead of doing individual like townhouses and stuff like that, they're doing 2-over-2 condos that are like more multifamily.
Mr. Chair. One of those is the application for the Avington building at Moorfield. That was 425 apartments. So that's a
That's a big.
pretty big bump.
Does anyone else have any questions for Mr. Tran?
No, I also do want to commend Mr. Tran. I've, on the implementation of the EDM, I've got nothing but positive feedback from the industry. So thank you for the communication plan and reaching out to them and implementing it. And I think they're all satisfied. Thank you.
And thank you for your input on that, Mr. Vega, as well. The next quarterly report, operation and maintenance quarterly report from Kendra.
Red dot on there for our community systems, and that is the Goose Creek Industrial Park. So the tie-in of the construction update was good there, right? Those are 2 lagoons, and we had wet weather hit that open construction area. So we did have high flows cause a high TSS event. Staff reported right away, got it quickly under control. So it was a minor violation, but that plant will be officially bypassed and offline in December of this year. So we're almost there.
Thank you. Thank you for that explanation.
TSS, that's suspended solids. So it's just the particulate that's picked up from the construction nearby.
Safety results from Mr. Chunta. Report looked great to me. Someone had a bee sting I saw on their finger. So that's all I noticed. I want to be the safety manager at Loudon Water.
Thanks, John.
Thank you. Anyone else have anything for Tom? All right. There's no closed meeting today, right? Okay. With that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. All right, Mr. Buffington and Mr. Vega second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned.